Hi, I'm Jaypaul Caleb and you're listening to Daily Newsings. Daily Newsings are musings on the daily news. Bengaluru is experiencing heavy rains and the rains are exposing the broken systems in the city. Roads are flooded, vehicles are floating, and the rains have even led to the death of 3 people in the city. When a senior citizen tried to pump water out of a flooded basement, an exposed wire in the pump led to his death through electrocution. A 12-year-old boy who happened to be nearby also died in the incident. He was the son of a watchman of an apartment. In another incident, a lady employed as a domestic help was crushed to death when a nearby wall collapsed due to the rains. Extreme weather events like heavy rains cause a lot of suffering and chaos for everyone. But the effects are drastically worse for people in the economically weaker sections of society. Slums, for instance, are often found in low-lying areas of the city. According to Slum Jan Andolana Karnataka, around 80 slums in the city were affected by the rains. Reports are coming in of various people living in such slums losing all their food supplies and important documents due to the water levels rising suddenly. But why does the city get flooded during rains? Part of the answer lies in the fact that for years Bengaluru officials have been breaking the law. Construction projects, for instance, should not get approvals from the government if the plan is to build on top of stormwater drains or lakeland. However, for the past many decades, various construction projects that were proposed to be built on top of lakeland and stormwater drains have been getting approvals. According to a study, there has been a 79% decline in water bodies in the city over the past 45 years. In the past, Bengaluru had a number of lakes, or tanks to be precise, as they were man-made, and these lakes were all connected by Raja Kaluves, or stormwater drains. The city also used to have a number of swampland in low-lying valleys. These areas would absorb rainwater even when the rains were heavy. The water would drain into the lakes. When a lake in a higher region got full, the water would flow through the Raja Kaluve into the next lake in a lower position. In this manner, the flooding would flow through water pathways created for it to flow through. Over the years, the officials allowed builders to build on top of these Raja Kaluves, either by rerouting it or narrowing its sides by constructing concrete walls on either side of it. Government officials also denotified various lakes. By this, they declared that the land was no longer a lake and so buildings could be built on top of it. The reasoning given for such denotification of a lake was that the lake had gone dry. But even dry lakes have a purpose, which is to collect excess rainwater. There are a number of studies which show that corruption is rampant in the urban planning spaces. To put it differently, building permissions are often granted because bribes have been exchanged, even if the permissions should not have been granted according to the law because the land in question was lakeland. What this means is that a number of public officials grew rich by putting the interests of the entire city at risk. Their wealth was built by dooming the city to flooding and suffering. The story never changes, or as the wisest man who ever lived said, there is nothing new under the sun, see Ecclesiastes 1:9. Like King Ahab in ancient Samaria grew rich by exploiting Naboth, see 1 Kings 21, the rich today continue to grow rich at the expense of the poor and the downtrodden. Injustice continues to wreak havoc in our cities. Such brokenness in our world makes us long for the return of the King, the righteous judge who will bring justice to the earth. In the meantime, we pray that the city authorities would work with integrity and honesty. We pray that they would administer the city with wisdom and devise solutions that would benefit all. We also pray for the weakest members of our society, that they would find much needed relief in times of distress. Thank you for listening to Daily Newsings.